Happy January 19th. It is Martin Luther King Day, so happy Martin Luther King Day, even though his birthday was on the 15th, and we celebrating it today, and it's a holiday and everything, so happy Martin Luther King Day. But anyway, anybody that follow me know I ramble before I get to the fucking point that I'm gonna make. And this video is not gonna be about anybody like, celebrities or anything like that. I'm not giving my opinions about nobody that's famous. Not that I'm gonna stop giving my opinions, but this video is gonna be about being quiet. Even though I come on here every day, nobody really know my personality. Nobody on here really know me. But in real life, I'm quiet and I'm to myself. And I stay to myself. And I notice when you're quiet and you mind your own motherfucking business, it bothers other people, demons, and it just bothers people. And I just want to say to my quiet princesses out there, the women that stay to themselves, continue to be quiet, continue to stay to yourself, continue to be a mystery, because when you're quiet, you also mysterious. And when women are loudmouth and they aggravating and they're annoying and they masculine, they tend to hate you because you're quiet. And when you're quiet, you put together. When you're quiet, don't nobody know what's going on in your life. People assume, they project. So I just want to tell people, just keep being quiet. Um, keep being mysterious. When I go to work, I just do three things when I'm there. I clock in, I work, and I clock out. I don't try to befriend no one. I have guys constantly trying to date me, and then they think something wrong with you because you don't want to date them. Never mix business with pleasure. It doesn't work out. I have tried it. It doesn't work out. And it just uncalls for. And it causes a lot of jealousy when you mix business with pleasure. But yeah, just stay quiet, just mind your own business. And like I said, when you're quiet, it mess with people, demons. Let me turn this shit down. If you see, I said, if you hear George Jefferson in the background, it's a Martin Luther King marathon that's going on. So I might come up here periodically through the day and you might hear him in the background. And I also turned it down. That's good. But yes, women at work, when you're quiet, it bothers them. They always have something to say. They always hate you for some reason. And you'll sit there and think like, dog, I don't bother nobody. Why do these women hate me? Usually the loudest thing in the room is the most insecure thing in the room. They're loud because they don't know themselves. They want other people to diagnose them and to tell them who they are. When you loud, you don't really know who you are, and you really don't have a motherfucking personality when you're loud. And you doing shit to be like, or hoping people like you. But if you're just your natural authentic self, I always say that in my video, be your authentic self. And no, you don't have to be boring. I'm not saying I'm boring, but I am to myself. Be your authentic self. And I also said silence. This year, 2026, is going to be silence. Meaning you don't have to tell everybody what's going on. You don't have to announce anything and everything. Like, people I work with don't know that I have a YouTube channel, because when you tell people stuff, they try to attack you. Oh, your YouTube channel only have 1,000 such and such people. People get in their feelings about the most dumbest idiotic thing. So when people find me, they find me naturally. I don't tell nobody about it or whatever. When people find me, they find me naturally because I'm quiet about it. I don't say anything about it. Yes, I come on here, I gotta talk. I can't just sit up here and not talk. I can't just sit up here for like 3, 4, 5 minutes and just look into a camera. That would be weird and awkward. But yes, um, being silent, it trigger people demons, and it trigger people at work. But keep on being silent. Keep pissing them off, because technically you haven't said anything to them. You haven't put your hands on them. They really can't do anything. So they fighting with them within themselves. They fighting in their mind. and everything. And just let them keep on hating. People gonna call you stuck up, snooty. They're gonna say, "Oh, you think you better than everyone." They don't know if you do or don't. But that's the insecurity within them, because never have I saw a quiet girl. I'm like, oh, she thinks she's better than everyone. I just think, oh, she's quiet. She don't like drama, and I keep it pushing or whatever. But yes, stay quiet, stay to yourself, and silence is key for 2026. Don't have everybody up in your business. Let people keep assuming or thinking what they want to think, because people are going to think what they want to think about you at the end of the day anyway. They don't know who you truly are anyway. I never forget, I was working on a job, and they had me and this particular female close to each other. And so I'm the type of person, if you talk to me, I talk to you back. I'm not gonna go out of my way. Not saying I'm better than anybody, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to communicate to anybody. I always been like this. I always been uh quiet or whatever. And I was working with this one particular female, and she came at me, we were working, and she started talking to me, so I started talking to her back. And she was like, I never knew you was this cool. And I was like, what? She was like, you cool as hell. I don't have to prove myself. So I'm not going to go out my way to prove myself. I'm cool, I'm fun. You'll know that as you get to know me, or if you approach me or whatever, you'll find that out. But and she was like so impressed, and she didn't know I was so laid back and so chilled and da 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 da. She was like in awe. Wow, you this, you that. And I thought this, and I thought she was just telling me all this shit that she thought about me. And this bitch, she didn't even know me, not like that. And I was like, oh yeah. She was like, but you this and you're that. I like you. And I was like, okay, like that. So just stay mysterious. And some of the people that I liked over the years are the most mysterious people. Like I said, I like uh, Aaliyah when she was alive. She was just super mysterious. It was something about her that just made you want more. I don't know what it was, but she was super mysterious. Prince, even though he was kind of like wild or whatever, it was something about him that was super mysterious. He didn't give you a lot of information. He just gave you what was needed. He left you wanting more too. Michael Jackson, I love him. He's my favorite entertainer out of everybody and everything. I wouldn't really say he was mysterious. We still really don't know if he was gay or not. Nobody never really came forth. Those people came forth and kids lied because their parents made them lie. But they tried to make it seem like he was gay. We really don't know if he was or wasn't. And it's not important. I still love him no matter what. Jack A just recently said that they had a relationship going on, and man been dead since 2009, and she just not putting that out that he had a spot on his dick that was true, and da 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 da. He had the first black card. I was like, wow, you know. So I guess you could say he was sort of mysterious. And Janet Jackson, she's still with us. I love her to death. And you can say she mysterious because this girl, you won't know who the fuck she dating. She'll pop up with a baby and a husband. You be like, what? 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 Huh? She'll get divorced. You'll just hear about it in the paper. And I'm making up a name when I say John. No, she was never married to a John. But you will be reading the paper, or it'll pop up. Oh, Janet Jackson and John Davis, they got a divorce. And you be like, what? I didn't know they was married. She's mysterious. Janet don't let you know shit about her life. Her son, I think he's 9 or 10. I'm not for sure. We haven't seen that baby, and I'm glad that we haven't saw him, because she keep that private. And by she being a celebrity, she need to keep that private. And I wish Beyonce would have kept Blue Ivy out of the press when she was born, because people were trying to make it seem like the baby was ugly. And no, Blue Ivy is not ugly, but people was like going in on a child. but I would kind of say Beyonce is mysterious. I'm not a huge Beyonce fan. I only like her because she is a Virgo or whatever. But I guess you can kind of say she's mysterious too. And Sade, she is very mysterious. You don't hear nothing about her. You don't know nothing about her. Um, I was shocked that I think she had a daughter that turned herself into a man, or a son that turned itself into it was one of the two. See, she's so mysterious. I don't even know. And my point is, your life should be personal. Your life should be personal or whatever. Now, I have came up here and I have talked about some things like an ex boyfriend, but after I talked about it, it was like way in the past. Like, I had talked about an ex boyfriend and somebody was like, oh, it's going to be okay, move on. And I was like, okay, at the time when they said something in the comments, I was like, okay, that was 3 years ago. They were like, oh, I thought it was recently. But yeah, I would talk about something after it's over, um, not while I'm actually going through it, but it'd be like long, long down the way or whatever. So if you say anything, it'd be like uncalled for or it's old news anyway. Like, who gives a fuck about your opinion? But yeah, so I just wanted to tell my quiet princess and my quiet girls to keep on being quiet, keep your life mysterious, and keep people out of your motherfucking business. And yes, it's gonna trigger people because you're quiet and you to yourself. It's gonna trigger people. It's gonna make people mad. But let them be mad as long as they don't put their hands on you. And that's all I wanted to say. Bye.